Hello, my name is Edwin Edebiri, and I am the Chief Happiness Officer with the I Am Happy Project and also the Happy Neighborhood Project. I want to say thank you for joining us this morning. We do this every Monday. It's our way of giving the week a jump start and also building it on a foundation of happiness. There's so many different research that shows that when you act on a foundation of happiness, you are more creative, you are more productive, you are more resilient, and a whole lot of other benefits that goes with that. So we want to help to focus you and get the week started on the foundation of happiness. Folks, today we're going to be talking about something that I hope that everybody is enjoying at this time of the year. However, that has been on a decline. We have not been enjoying it enough, and it is affecting our level of happiness. So today I'm going to be talking about time off and happiness. So our subject for today is time off and happiness. Now, I know different people have different attitude towards time off, and in Europe especially, they have actually mandated time off. They have a national vacation policies. I think the U.S. is the only advanced country in the world that does not have a national vacation policies. And the results are obvious, because from 2009 to 2013, the percentage of individuals on antidepressant has more than doubled. And that is very, very scary. I can tell you that. It's very scary. And but there are different, philosophy, different psychology, different school of thought, and companies don't give enough time off. But even those that do give enough time off, individuals don't take the time off. Okay, so it's not just a blame on company. I think we have to also look at the individual responsibility on this one. I think there was a study that I found out that about 577 million days off were unused, in 1 year. So that means people get the time off, but they don't use it. Either they want to trade it for a time and a half, or they walk through it, or some other kind of reason. But again, folks, research shows that if you take time off, and especially if you plan the time off, it definitely increases your level of happiness. And not only does it increase your level of happiness, it also increases your productivity. So it is really to the benefit of companies and individuals alike to really take time off, to plan the time off. When you take time off, you are healthier. Okay, and when you do get sick, you bounce back quicker. Okay, so if you take time off, you are more creative. There's a whole lot of benefit, to time off. That is something that I hope that when you listen to this conversation and you start to plan out as we go into 2017, have a different attitude towards time out. There was a study that I came across as I was preparing for this, and they said that in about 20 years ago, that's not too long, folks, 20 years ago, 80% of families visiting Yosemite National Park spent overnight. They stayed overnight. They enjoyed the park. Okay? They spent overnight. Today, folks, the average family, not only they stay in the car and they snap pictures, they stay less than 5 hours. Whoa, from overnight stay to less than 5 hours. That is a huge difference. And then the U.S. Travel Association, they also did their own study. In 1975, the average family vacation was like 1 week. The average family vacation, 1 week. Today, folks, in 2010, when they studied again, it was 3.8 days. So it's going down. And I know that we work really hard, no question about it. But sometimes we also overwork. And then there is a side effect that comes from that, whereby, we start to get sick and productivity goes down and creativity goes down, depression set in, and all kind of stuff that follow lack of time off. So my suggestion is, as you go into 2017, plan your time off. If your company allows time off, take advantage of it and enjoy it. Now some people will say, well, I don't have money to travel. That's not necessarily true, because I think it's not a shortage of money. I think it's a shortage of priority. Okay, if we rearrange our priority, we can free up money. That's one. Number two, folks, traveling sometimes is not as expensive as most people think. There's so many wonderful things that we can enjoy, even just a short drive away from where we live. And this is what's so funny. Sometimes it takes somebody else coming to visit us for us to realize how wonderful, things around us are. Because they have been studying it from afar, and they cannot wait to go and enjoy it. And it's only then you realize, wow, I am just a short drive away from this national monument, or from this National Creational Center, or from this place or that place. So take some time, folks, and just look around where you live. Where can you take up, just for the weekend, and just spend overnight somewhere? You would definitely rejuvenate yourself so well that when you come back, not only are you happier, but you can get more stuff done than if you just try to just walk through everything. So take some time off and plan it, folks. And the other thing is this: when you do take off, take off. I know we are living in a technological era where we sleep with our smartphone. And we hear the beep every time, because Facebook have encouraged us to set up notifications. Twitter have encouraged us to set their own. YouTube have asked us to do their. Periscope have done theirs. Everybody have done one thing or the other, not to talk of the email alerts and all those text messages alerts. At some point, folks, when you take off, really try to take off. And I'm working on this myself, and I'm the Chief Happiness Officer, so I can tell you it's not easy. Okay, because we think we're going to miss out on something. But try this, folks. When you take off, take away your phone, for example. Take off from your phone also. And believe me, if you want to be more comfortable with it, leave an outgoing message to let people know you are out of the pocket. And so they will not blame you for not returning their text message or for not liking their post on Facebook and stuff like that, okay? And so you really take off, because it is so beneficial to rejuvenate yourself. And we all know this. I mean, there are some people that treat their car way better than they treat themselves. They follow the car manual. They go to the oil change regularly. They go to the tune-up change regularly, because they are afraid that their car may break down on them. But they don't think about the fact that they could break down on themselves. If some people treat themselves the way they treat their car, they will be happier. Now, let me put it in another way. If some people treat their car the way they treat themselves, the car will break down often. And we don't want that. So as we go into a whole new year, folks, let's look at the adjustment in attitude. How do we treat ourselves? And the way we treat ourselves, don't be surprised. Our body will reciprocate. Our mind will reciprocate. Our brain will reciprocate, folks. So take some time off, and really, really do take some time off. And maybe it's time to read that book that you've been putting aside. And I'm not talking about, a book in your industry, for example. That's not vacation. That's still doing work. Read a book from a different thing that may not relate to your work, just to refresh your mind, to cause your mind to go on a totally different spin and stuff like that. Okay. Maybe it's the time to visit that friend that you guys have been playing phone tag, and maybe have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, or just hang out and just shoot breeze. Maybe it's a time to pick up a new hobby. Because again, vacation time means vacate what you currently do so that you can have time to refresh yourself. And so when you come back, you can look at it from a new attitude. You can look at it from a new perspective. You have a whole new surge of energy. And yes, you will be definitely happier. So I hope that kind of help out in terms, now some of you might say, well, I'm not able to take the 20 days or 30 days off like they can take in Europe. Maybe we can start to work towards that. And I know companies are always scared, that it will affect their output. I don't think so. Because a happy person is a more productive person. And it's not even the number of days you work, it's the quality of work you put into those days. But national vacation policy, that's a whole different topic. But I think it's something that will make collectively the country a more happier place and even more productive place. So take a whole different look at your time off. Whether it's one day off a week you get, whether it's a weekend you have, whether it's an extended weekend that you are able to maneuver, make it count. Because your happiness depends on it. This is the Chief Happiness Officer, Edwin Edebiri, and we're talking about time off and happiness. As part of our traditional, folks, and those of you who mute yourself, you will mute yourself by now, and we are going to say Happy Monday to each other at a count of 2. So 1, 2.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
All right. Thank you very much. And you guys stay happy, and I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday.